Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Host the Bros. Let me bring in the other bros right now. Two wallets, the big boy. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Big boy, welcome back.
Appreciate it. It's good to be back.
How's everything?
It's a lot better now, let me tell you.
Yeah. All right. So this week we're going to be talking a little bit about some basketball. College ended the NCAA championship game. We have a winner. We also have some NBA going on and a little NHL news. And I'm gonna give you guys a question. If you guys think you know the names of the NHL award and what team is the last team to win the best record and the Stanley Cup. So see if you guys know any of that. But first off, let's get to it right now. Oh no! Whose phone is that?
That would be Bama phone.
Oh no! So anyway, that is hilarious. So anyway, all right. Well, let's get to it right now. Kansas Jayhawks win the NCAA men's basketball championship, 72-69 against North Carolina. Now, this game, I didn't see all this game because I was busy watching wrestling. I was watching Cody Rhodes come Monday Night Raw. So, and when I did check this game, it said 40-25 North Carolina at end of half. I said, I'm not turning this game on. So I went and I continued watching Monday Night Raw and seeing how that went and said, all right, Monday Night Raw ended. And I was like, let me go check the score and see how bad North Carolina is whooping Kansas. Next thing you know, I look and it's a 1 point game. I was like, what the heck happened? So I had to stay up. So it's already 11 o'clock, almost 11:30 in the East Coast. I got to be at work at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But I'm going to watch this game. And boy, I'm glad I watched it. Because at first I thought, oh, Kansas had an ultimate comeback. Then they fell so short. And all of a sudden, they end up holding it off. I feel bad for the dude from North Carolina to roll his ankle. But you rolled his ankle 2 days before and still had the guts to play this game. And now Kansas won. They win their championship, I think, first since like 2008.
Yeah.
So congratulations. What you guys think of this game? Who watched this game?
I unfortunately wasn't able to watch it live. I was only able to get the highlights.
I was actually like you, I was planning to watch the game, but by the time I turned it on, I'm like, oh, it's a blowout. I expected Kansas to do better than that. Next thing I know, I turn on ESPN, I hear Kansas wins, and I'm like, I was gonna turn on wrestling, I'm like, daggone, college was just like fourth or fifth on our rung of things to do, and I didn't get to it.
I will have to say though, looking at the stat sheet of that game, the Jayhawks had a lot of heart because the Tar Heels put up more shots. They had way more rebounds. They was doing a thing. Like they had 73 shots to Kansas 66 shots. The problem, if you ask me, is that they shot way too many 3-pointers. So those 73 shots, 23 of them were 3-pointers. They only hit 5 of them things. I guess they live by the 3 and die by the 3 of that one because at some point you got to go get inside the paint. But they got 55 rebounds that game. I find that to be a ridiculous number for basketball. Like 55 rebounds, I consider that for like both teams. No, this team got one by itself. So
especially in a college basketball game, I agree with
you. I feel like Kansas, they heart shone through and got them a double on that one.
Like we're getting clowned already. Whole podcast full of guys that didn't watch the game. Well, this is called Sports Daddy TV as well. So sometimes some of us dads got things to do and just got away with this. But I mean, if I was to watch this full this game, I would have changed it at halftime. Wouldn't have watched the whole thing. I would have been like, oh man, can't believe I
All
missed
right,
it.
hold on. I got a good reason. Has anybody ever been to a Dodger game and it was so far out of hand? It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go beat the traffic. Well, I've been at those games where I didn't leave and I ended up it was worth staying. When it comes to college basketball, it doesn't the comebacks don't happen very often. Normally when they're a close game, they're a close game. I guess, whoever made the comment, I don't know if they watch college basketball like I do. This is the one game, honestly, I kind of didn't want to see. I was going to watch. And then by the time I turn it on, I think when I had turned on, they were already up 16 points. I'm like, Kansas is not built like that. But then again, I guess the nervous energy just got a part of North Carolina in the second half. And what was the big boy? A 16-point deficit?
It was a big deficit. It was like 40-25.
40-25. So it's like, what is that? 15 points. So I was like, I don't. There we go, right here. Respect. Being a Clipper fan, as I congratulate Clips. All right, we're gonna get to that in a minute. That other team and down the hallway, yeah,
that's him.
That season's over. But we also got to say a big congratulations to Romero for winning this year's first annual Sports Daddy TV NCAA March Madness bracket. Two Wallets
That's not fair.
Two Wallets tied for second. Big Boy fourth. Big Chief finished 6 out of 8. So, but none of us had Kansas. So nobody, it was just basically at the end, as soon as Villanova won, or if Villanova got out, I was like, well, let's see who won. So
I don't know if that comes in clear, but
yeah, a little bit. But so we'll get that out of the way real quick. But all right, so now that we talked a little bit about it, NCAA. Real quick though, Coach K. Okay, it was his last game. He didn't go out on top. He loses his last home game at Cameron. Gets to the Final Four, gets beat by North Carolina. As the season ends and he's getting down to the offseason, does he change his mind and come back?
No.
No? You think he's officially done?
I like Coach K, but I'm not a huge enough Coach K fan to sit there and be like, okay, I want him to come back. No. I'd much rather see Hubert Davis improve as a coach in championship basketball times as opposed to sit there and want Coach K to come back. I'm good.
I just feel like the aspect of the job, he would be done. Like, it's different when you're a player. A player, you like what, 30-something, you retire from your sport. He a little bit past that. I feel like when he says he's ready to retire, the man is ready to retire.
Man, can you get LeBron on that same page? Like,
well, you don't think that the itch will come and he'll want to coach again? I've seen a lot of older coaches be like, yeah, I'm going to retire, and then they end up coming back.
I feel like his gold stroke going to come around. He's going to be on a good vacation. He'd be like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I could see him coming back. I just, he's done in Duke.
All right. So let's switch to the NBA right now, and I got to say congratulations to the LA Lakers for missing the playoffs. All that talent and nothing to afford. I got into a big Twitter roar when I said that LeBron James is a cancer. He's an organizational killer. And all the LeBron faithfuls have came out and said, no, he's not. Well, you guys are just hating. And I was like, no, he is. Right? And they trash. Of course they trash.
So, okay. Let me cut in there real quick. That gentleman that you're arguing with on Twitter, he has actually agreed when having time to come on the show and discuss this LeBron James problem.
Really?
Obviously, I am the yang and he's the yin. Okay, so yin and yang. So we're gonna go back and forth. As soon as we get him on the program, he has agreed to come on. So I turned down no challenge, y'all. And look, doesn't matter what team, I can argue for or against almost anybody because I love basketball and football like that.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this then. What is next, as the topic of the game is, what is next for the LA Lakers?
I say
I
they
was
blow the team up.
Blow the team up? So who do you get rid of? You getting rid of everybody, coach included?
Get rid of everybody that's not. Get rid of everybody that's 30 and up.
well, I guess it's breaking news for you guys, but the coach has already agreed to leave the LA Lakers after the last 7 games. So he's done. And I'm glad that he's leaving LeBron because I mean, what else can you do working with that guy? He wants too much control. He's too power hungry.
So I think you have to really get rid of LeBron, but I think you keep Russell Westbrook and you build the team around him. I think you can still build a team around Russell Westbrook and possibly AD, but AD is a glass jaw. He's a glass jar as well. Okay. And apparently this Popsicle 5, you've been on this podcast before, Two Wallace. That's who do we know who this man is?
Who is it?
Pop Sickle 5.
By the handle, I don't know.
Oh, well,
But I mean, my goodness.
he a Clipper fan. So we gotta get him on here. Talk about the Clippers. But as far
Hey.
you know what I'm saying, as far as the Lakers,
Oh, okay, never mind. I know who that is.
so as far as the Lakers go, I think they need to rebuild. Do you see him? I saw something like maybe they can get Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers goes to the Lakers and maybe possibly be their new coach.
Why would he go back to LA?
I've
Doc-
just seen
No, he no.
no
He
Doc.
done in that city.
No.
What about okay, so who can coach the Lakers?
LeBron.
Okay,
He already did
It's-
that, and what happened?
it's funny you say LeBron because he played his GM hat and he's already played his coaching hat and it didn't work. But I wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing Jeff Van Gundy as a name and even Scott Skiles. I wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing those 2 names come out real quick. So we got to keep an eye on them. You writing it down?
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
And the reason why I say that is because they're looking for cheap and experienced. Jeff Van Gundy, I think Stan Van Gundy will not touch LA. I think there's a lot of guys who won't touch LA. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's going to be a rookie head coach. And then let's go ahead and throw dirt on the rest of the grave here. I was one of the people who said without Jason Kidd, this roster doesn't make sense. Jason Kidd knows how to develop younger and older talent to fit a scheme. Obviously, we see what happened the 1 year he left. This is not a playoff team. I think Jason Kidd would have worked wonders with Russell Westbrook because he's the only person that would have gotten through to Russell Westbrook when, I mean, look, I love the coach. I really do. But as soon as I saw Jason Kidd was, I think, big boy, I think you and me had this conversation. I don't see that working without Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I see him going to a younger team, trying to help them out, learn how to teach the game on the defensive side and how to be an efficient team. But when you got a bunch of, it's funny, the only person who played like an actual teammate this year, well, 2 players, is Malik Monk and Carmelo Anthony. Everybody else played like, you know.
Mhm.
So
Carmelo did do his job. He did exactly the role he was fulfilled to do. Same with Malik Monk. Ultimately,
Nipsey-
the second the team started listening to LeBron James for pieces to bring in instead of letting the GM do his job, that's where they started to fail in my book. Like,
Yeah.
they got saved previous year. They won a championship because they was injured. LA was injured, and then they had to stop the season for the COVID and whatnot, and then they was able to get back healthy and come back with that dub.
And the bubble.
The season before last.
Who?
I think that's what did it for them. The fact that
Yeah.
they was able to get healthy. Because remember, they didn't play too much as a whole team these past few games because AD was out, and now LeBron is out, and now the whole team is out.
What about Quinn Snyder? Do you see him leaving Utah and going to the Lakers? I seen that's another name. According to Bleacher Report, they have Doc Rivers and Quinn Snyder are the two head candidates to go to the Lakers.
I think Quinn Snyder is going to end up being too expensive. I think if you have LeBron James, he doesn't know how to listen. We saw what happened when he got into a structured atmosphere with Coach Spo. They ended up fighting. Everybody keep forgetting now. Coach Spo used to brush up against LeBron. They're like, what up, man? Like, why don't you listen? Like, we going to fight. Like, let's go. But, I guess people forget. Coach Spo ain't no punk, and Quinn Snyder ain't no punk either.
But like I said, if you were the higher ups in La La Land, do you let him go? Do you let him leave and say we're gonna start from scratch, keep one of the guys, you keep Russ, build around Russ, maybe get a Oklahoma City type team when Russ was in Oklahoma City, build around that. You could build around if you wanted Showtime.
All right, I see what you're saying. I mean, if you really want to look at it, let's just point to the real obvious right now. Coach K just became a free agent. He left college basketball. You don't think LeBron's going to try and convince Gina to say, hey, let me have Coach K for a couple of years?
No. The only person I think that could have ever got Coach K to leave and go into the pros was the late, great Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, yeah.
I think he was the only one that could have got. If the Clippers would have got Coach K that year that Kobe almost was a Clipper, Kobe would have been a Clipper. Okay? Because I think he really, really wanted to play with Coach K. And he tried his best to get Coach K to go to the Lakers. And he just did not want to go. But as of right now, we're looking at the playoff seed. So, all right. Over under. Real quick before we get to this, the Lakers are back in the playoffs in the next 3 years.
Just one time?
Over under, I'll give you the next 3 years. The Lakers make the playoffs at least once. Over under that.
Push.
Nah, over under, no push.
They make it one time. They're not okay. They didn't make it. They're not going to most likely make it next year. Because AD or LeBron is gone.
So do you think they make it in the next 3 years? You're saying they make it at least once? So
at least once. I think once.
Once?
Yeah, once. That's why it's a push.
I don't think they make it at all.
So the next 3 years, they go 0-3.
They won't make the playoffs. I don't think they make the playoffs. If they do make anything, they make the play-in game. But
I can't even bet a case on that, man.
Why not? I'll take it. The Lakers will not make the playoffs the next 3 years.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that.
Anybody want to touch that?
Nope. Big boy.
I actually agree with Big Chief Daddy. They have to do a complete roster overhaul, and then they got to get comfortable together. And you're talking about the Western Conference. I feel like there's just too many powerhouses of teams already for them to try to fit in there with a rebuilding roster.
Yeah. So, all right.
So that means that for you guys to say that means AD's got to get traded. So where's AD going? Look, I already have a feeling that the coach is Frank Vogel, big boy. I'm letting you know right now, he's going to New York or Brooklyn.
What you need?
I have that feeling.
Man, my team got so many issues. Oof.
Well,
but I don't think AD might not even get traded. I think just out of the pure fact that he's so injury prone, he's going to miss a good 30 to 40% of the games.
His stock dropped tremendously. He's not going to get traded anymore. Who wants to trade for a player that's not going to be on the game, miss about 47, 50 games a year.
The Warriors would trade for him. The Orlando Magics would trade for him. The Raptors would trade for. Can you imagine Pascal Siakam in a Lakers uniform? Yep, I could. Let's see. Portland might do it, but I doubt it. Denver won't do it. Let me finish off this hand first. The Knicks would do it. The Knicks would be stupid enough to do it. Okay. Because
Right.
we just not to knock you, big boy. It's just the owner. He's a weirdo. He would trade his whole team for one player. He did it for Melo. He would do it for AD.
He did trade the whole team. He had Gallinari and everybody.
Exactly. He would do it. Okay. The Hawks would trade everybody
Minus
and put
Trae Young.
AD with Trae Young. They would do it. You know what? I know this might sound funny. I would not put it past the LA Clippers to do it, but I don't think they will. I think Michael Jordan would find a way to put LaMelo, Davis, and Scary Terry together. That would be a scary team. Because remember, with the way that team is, they don't need a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch of teams I think that would trade for Anthony Davis right now, injury prone and all.
So what about the two teams that actually have a good track record when it comes to being teams healthy? And one of them would be the Phoenix Suns. And by the way,
I said Mike.
You're not doing it.
I said Mike.
Look.
Nobody thought that they were going to trade for Kawhi. Nobody thought they were going to get Kawhi either. So
they don't need AD.
Okay, but let me just ask a question now. I know you want to get off the subject. Does AD want to play with LeBron after this year?
Oh, no. No. One of them got to go.
Because we know AD been wanting to go to New York. Big boy, would you take AD in the Knicks uniform?
Yeah, we do need a big. We're desperate for a big.
See? And that's Julius Randle, picks, plus a couple more players that can go right back to the LA Lakers.
So what do you do if you're AD and you say, I want to go to Phoenix because they have the best training staff in the NBA? Does Phoenix trade any of their younger talent to get him?
No. You want to know why? Because their younger talent dog walked Anthony Davis in the playoffs. Last year? Yeah.
But could he go and be off the bench 6-man, 7-man?
Anthony Davis is going to go from getting a max contract to a bench player in 1 year.
Because look at right here, AD needs to worry about playing 60 games a season. If you're not playing 60 games a season, you're not getting a max contract.
But he's already got one. That's why you need to trade with him. The Suns are not going to do that. The Miami Heat, who have the second best training staff, the medical staff in the NBA, along with Phoenix, neither one of those teams are wanting AD.
What about San Antonio?
Only because they're desperate at this point for
somebody.
Me personally, if I was San Antonio, I don't think I would do it because that means you're going to have to give up Murray to do it. And Murray is the best player they got.
So the playoffs, I believe, are pretty much set. You got the playing games going to be San Antonio versus New Orleans, Minnesota versus the Clippers in the playing game. Whoever wins between the 7-8 seed, which is Minnesota and Clippers, will go to the Phoenix. And the winner of between the rest of those three will go to Memphis. Let me tell you something. I love the Clippers, but my heart is torn. I'm glad we got PG-13. We got Paul George back. I'm glad he's doing his thing. And they're in this play-on game. But I almost wish we weren't. Because I almost wish Paul George and Kawhi, even if Kawhi comes back for the rest of this season, need to lose. Right here, yes, exactly. I'm thinking the Clippers lose on purpose. I think the Clippers shouldn't. I was hoping that they wouldn't get in this play-in game because they're not going to go far. Let your two stars rest they get a whole rest of their season. They get the rest of the season off. They're gonna relax because they're gonna be a little bit rusty, especially Kawhi if he comes back. So let them chill out. So what? We scratched it off. Still got a better record than the Lakers. So we won that one.
I'm sorry. I have to completely go on the other side of the track on that one. I don't know where you're at, big boy.
Hold on. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
You're taking away from Tyronn Lue and his coaching greatness. I was one of those people that was on the fence about Tyronn Lue until this year. Because you see what a coach really does with star talent when they're injured. You really think in the West there are any other coaches, maybe except for Doc Rivers, maybe Coach Spo for sure, maybe Doc Rivers. There's only a couple of teams I know who could have taken this roster of the guy and say, yeah, let's try and make the postseason in the West.
I get it, but I'm just saying with this team, you're in a playing game. And I gotta agree with my men here, and I forgot that we need to get in so we can mess with OKC because we can't get them that lottery pick. So now, since we got to get all the way in, and hopefully we do advance to maybe the second round. But I mean, if you're asking me where I think the Clippers are going to be, I think it's 1, 2, 3 barbecue. Okay, or 1, 2, 3.
Can
4.
you imagine? Can you imagine if Paul George makes a run like he did last year?
Oh, but I don't know. I don't see it.
I mean, Big Boy, let me ask Big Boy this question. Big Boy, is the team's roster as a team better this year, deeper than they were last year if Paul George comes back and he starts playing hot? Yay or nay?
Nay.
I think the roster's a little bit deeper this year than they were last year.
The thing is, it may be deeper, but a lot of those people ain't going pretty long in a series. Like, they a little bit up there too. A lot of people in the 30 and up club on that team.
I get you, but let's play the Anthony Davis card right now. The dude came back. Okay, wait, what did he say?
Yeah, I think the truth is that the West this season is as good as it was previously.
Okay, but that proves my Paul George argument coming up right now. He's had a lot of rest. If he goes PG, if PG goes rated R and not PG goes PG, there's only two guys I see getting his way. That's Spencer Dinwiddie and Luka Doncic. Those are the only two cats I see getting in his way. Everybody else, except for the Suns, I actually believe Rudy Gobert does nothing in that series against the Clippers. The Nuggets, that's a 7-game series. The Warriors, they might lose that series in 7, but that's going 7 because Paul George is going nuts. But then again, the Clippers play defense, and Tyronn Lue has been there. He knows that squad. So they can play everybody in the West except for maybe the Mavericks. The Mavericks, Memphis, and the Suns. Everybody else they can hang with. And 3 of those teams, they're going to knock out each other. So I think the Clippers actually have a decent shot here to make it to the conference finals.
Well, according to my man here, he says what he said was the Clippers lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves on purpose. So then they can go and beat Memphis.
Beat Memphis? Ooh.
So what they would do is they would lose to Minnesota.
Man.
Then they'll beat New Orleans or San Antonio and play Memphis.
And to think that I was going to do a show just regarding all these matchups.
Well, we're doing it right now.
Man, I'm going to have to figure out what Saturday's episode going to be about. You know what? Everything's not set in stone, so we might have a part 2 of this.
I'll take that back. Okay, I'll just preview the West. If you want to listen about the East, tune in on Saturday. You can listen about 2 Miami Heat.
Keep it going, because look, none of them are actually set yet.
All right, so
And we got what, 7 games left?
All right, so let's talk about the East. The East has
you good. You good.
Atlanta and Charlotte.
No, you good.
In the playing game, as well as Cleveland and Brooklyn. Brooklyn. I thought Brooklyn was supposed to be like in somewhere in between the 3rd and 4th seed. Especially after the Ben Simmons trade. How are they in a playing game?
Oh, because Kyrie Irving.
I knew it. I knew it.
Well, you guys know how much. Look,
how much
as
you
a
don't like
person,
him. Yes, I know.
As a person, I do not hate Kyrie. Is he a weird guy? Absolutely. On the court, the dude is one of the best offensive players we've ever seen. I will admit that. Is he greater than LeBron? Like he said, no. Is he one of the top 10 point guards of all time? No. I'm sorry. You make one shot in the finals and you think you're better than all other point guards? I'm sorry. Every time you're on a team by yourself, you are a lottery star player. That's all you've ever been. But, big but, if you get him with another star that doesn't mind playing with him like Kevin Durant, you got a puncher's chance. I'm sorry, man. Kevin Durant is a top 25 player to me of all time. Even with his late injuries, I'm in the playoffs, and Kyrie finally got the I ain't got to take, but I can play shot, Bill. Let's go, New York. Like, Brooklyn, let's go. Like, I'm not mad. Like, look, I said it from jump. If Ben Simmons is playing on that team, that's the only team in the East I fear. Because, look, when it comes to Milwaukee, we got to get revenge. When it comes to the 76ers, everybody's like, oh, Harden and Embiid, you can't stop him. Embiid's going to get hurt or he's dinged up at this point. And James Harden's going to come up short in the playoffs like I have said forever. And guess what? Tobias Harris is still coming up short because he doesn't get enough touches. Why? Because James Harden is doing –
okay.
That's all he does.
So, real quick, I messed up. I'm looking at the bracket here, and I got messed up with the arrows. They got arrows going everywhere, left, right. So
go for it.
The winner of the 7-8 seed goes to Memphis. So the Clippers need to beat Minnesota to go play Memphis. If they lose, they will play the winner of New Orleans, San Antonio, and that winner will go to Phoenix. Okay.
They need to win.
So they need to win, or else they go to Phoenix. We done.
They might win a game.
So not losing on purpose so you can get a better. No, they need to win. Now, for the East, if Brooklyn beats Cleveland, they'll go play Boston. If Cleveland wins, they play Boston.
Ooh.
If Brooklyn loses, they play the winner of Atlanta, Charlotte, and that team will play your Miami Heat.
Either team is getting dusted by Miami.
I want Brooklyn to play Miami.
I don't.
Because
I
want to build some cases.
Wait, did you just sit here on TV and say that without Ben Simmons playing D, that Kevin Durant can beat Miami by himself?
No, I just said I want to build some cases. So I probably take Miami in maybe six games.
Well, yeah, Kevin Durant's not getting swept. I mean, he ain't LeBron.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to say that? My bad. My bad.
If you went to say, if you did 5 games and I'll do 6 games, I bet a couple cases.
I would give Kevin Durant maybe a game or 2. But he is not beating Miami by himself. Our defense is too good. Kyrie Irving's not that good, especially not on the road, and he's not winning in Miami.
But then again, something wants me just because I want to throw it in and be like, yo.
I'm just curious to see what version of Ben Simmons is going to come through in the playoff game for the Nets.
Hey, can we just worry about getting Ben Simmons back next year? I don't want to play that dude right now. At all. I do not want him mixing in.
A healthy Nets team beats Miami.
I told you I'd be scared. That's 7-game series. A healthy Nets team versus Miami is a 7-game series.
A healthy Nets team takes that 8-7 seed and gets to the conference finals.
Not through Miami, but the 7th seed maybe.
Well, you got 7 seed. They'll play Boston. I think they can beat Boston.
They can beat Boston. They can definitely beat Boston.
Look, I think I had this conversation yesterday. Al Horford, I know people are sleeping on Al Horford. He went to the 76ers and he didn't make a difference. Why? Because Joel Embiid, all he does is run his mouth. That's all he does is run his mouth, run his mouth, run his mouth. And all of a sudden, the last 2 years, he's not as hurt as normal. So all of a sudden, he's an MVP. He's not going to win it again this year, but now he claims that people hate him. No, people are tired of running your mouth. That's what's wrong with him. But come on, man. Come on.
He's talking about, he said people don't like Philadelphia players. I was like, say that to AI.
Thank you.
Say that to Drexler.
Say that to the other AI.
Like, there's been some MVPs out of Philly now.
Say that to Dr. J.
Yeah.
There's two of the biggest 76ers are Dr. J and Allen Iverson.
And then if you want to jump deeper in that, Andre Iguodala, they always love him in Philly.
I remember back when AI went to Philly, I bought, that's the only basketball shoes I ever bought. Was the Allen Iverson 3s, I think they were, or they had like multiple different colors.
Well, I'm frugal, so the only basketball shoes I ever own are Shaquille O'Neal's. Know what I'm saying? And then there was a pair of Jordans bought for me, so that doesn't count. But the only pair I've ever bought is a pair of Shaqs.
Now remember,
pay less, homie.
This is Iverson first time in Philly, so that's way long ago. Long ago. So, all right. So we'll come back. We're gonna come back to this probably. Let's see, April. So next week, next Wednesday, we will break down, and we will do a little bracket challenge between the three of us. Maybe we'll get a couple more people in here. You have to give me a winner, and you got to give me how many games. And maybe I can get this guy right here, my fellow Clipper man. You can hit him
Gene.
up. See if Gene wants to come in. He can come on, and we'll talk a little basketball the next week as well. And we'll even go get Romero, hopefully come in, Mr. Laker man. And if you guys haven't had a chance yet, when this is over, click on another video on YouTube. My man in the mic with Romero real quick, and that was hilarious and classic, and it was so funny. I heard the episode. I'm not gonna give it away, but it's another basketball topic, and it's fun, especially for you Clipper fans. It's fun to see different things. It's hilarious. I loved it. So there's the cheap plug. But we'll come back to the NBA playoffs, and we'll do winner, how many games, and we'll see. We'll go. Maybe we'll do round by round, or maybe we'll just do the whole thing and give yourself who we're gonna crown as this year's NBA champion. But switching gears real quick, let's go into your Colorado Avalanche hockey. They got about, let's see, we're sitting in April, so we got about a month left of the regular season. So, I ask you guys, do you know the name of the award that goes to best record overall based on points for the NHL? Because the NHL actually gives out an award for the regular season.
Actually, I don't know.
Do you know, Two Wallet? Do you have an guess?
I'm currently cheating. I'm trying to figure it out.
You're cheating. All right. So I have it already here. So why you? Okay, go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, it is the Art Ross Trophy.
Wrong. It's the President's Trophy.
Oh, dang it. Wait, which one did I get?
I don't know which one you got, but it's the president.
Oh, to the player who leads the National Hockey League in scoring points at the end of the regular season.
Yes. So
Okay.
the President's Trophy. So there's a big curse when it comes to the President's Trophy. Whoever wins the President's Trophy doesn't win the Stanley Cup. The last team to ever win both was the 2012-2013 Chicago Blackhawks to win the Stanley Cup and the President's Trophy. So my thing for you to say is I live in Florida, but I live in what we call Central Florida and with the Lightning. The Lightning are my second favorite team because obviously I'm not from here. So we want the Panthers to get that cup, to get that trophy, just so they can have the curse. Anybody with me with that one? Let the Panthers get the best record in the NHL. That way, they got a 10-year curse on them or 11-year curse on them that says no way, no how, this team is going to win the Stanley Cup. Do you know the names? So then you got the Clarence S. Campbell Award goes to the Western Conference winner, the Prince of Wales Trophy. I gotta give it to the hockey, man. They got some cool names for their awards here, you know. And
and then
Eastern Conference.
Okay, sorry. And then the Art Ross Trophy is an annual award given to the player who leads the National Hockey League in scoring points at the end of the regular season. And the Frank J. Skilt Trophy is award given to the best excels in defensive aspects of the game. That is kind of cool.
I.e., the best defender of the game, if you want to.
Basically.
Defenseman Player of the Year. The Conn Smythe Trophy is basically your Stanley Cup MVP. But, however, I've seen that actually go even to the loser because it's awarded to the most valuable player for his team in the playoffs named. Okay, so it could technically go to a winning team. It could also go to the losing team. So they got a lot of cool names, cool trophies to go with. But the standings is where I was like, man, this is nuts. So we already said that we saw where the Avalanche are in first by a little bit. So as of right now, if we go by the conference right now, we have in the East, the only team to clinch so far is Florida. The only team to clinch in the West is the Avalanche. They go, and the interesting thing is I like how the points record go. This is the only thing that is different from all types of sports, right? It's not on record. Because if I go to the Western Conference, right, the Minnesota Wild has 43 wins. However, they're in third because they have 91 points. The Calgary is 91, and they played the same amount of games. But because Minnesota has 2 extra losses and less overtime ties, they're actually below. So you get a lot of stuff like my Kings have 38 wins. When you're thinking, okay, they should be somewhere in the bottom, they're actually the 6th seed. However, if you go to the division, they could possibly jump up and catch the Calgary Flames. However, they got Edmonton to deal with now because, well, we lost some games here. So we're in the last 10, we're 5-3-2, but Calgary is 5-3-2, but Edmonton has been coming up there. And as far as your Rangers go, big boy, how are your Rangers doing? What you thinking about the Rangers? You think they can do something in the playoffs?
They doing good. They starting to get more points up per game, and I'm liking that. We did have that game where we put up 5 against the enemy team. I'm loving that. I think our next matchup is against the Penguins, which we are in the league on that little series. I think we 2-1 against them in the season right now. So right now we're having high hopes. because we're a bit of a grit and grind type of team, if you ask me. And now that we're adding some more points to that, that's great. More points. We're playing defense, grinding down the other enemy. We in there. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something this season.
All right. So, yeah.
Do you follow the Islanders as well, or you just hit on the Rangers?
Still working on the Islanders.
Okay, because I was just looking because you guys know I'm still trying to catch up in hockey. I usually watch the playoffs. It looks like we got 32 and 28 with 73 points, and it looks like they're fifth in their division.
They're ninth overall.
Okay, so with a month to go, it looks like that they're pretty slow when transition to probably hit the playoffs. Is that about right?
Yeah, I don't see them making the playoffs. They're seven.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're 11 points away, and you get 3 points. I think it was 2 points a win or 3 points a win, or I forget how that goes. But no, I don't think that. I think so. Yeah.
And Philly and New Jersey have definitely been eliminated, along with Montreal.
Yep. So where is the Islanders play as far as New York? Are they New York, or is the Rangers more New York, big boy?
Rangers are more New York.
So where do the Islanders play as far? I know they got the new arena, but where do they go? I mean, because you got the Jersey, the Devils. They're in Jersey, but so where are they? Are they like the Buffalo? Are they Buffalo like Buffalo is to the NFL? They're really the New York team.
No, they get an Elmont, New York. I don't even know what Elmont's at. Wow. But
it's called the UBS Arena.
Yeah. What? To put it plainly, the Islanders are like the Jets.
Okay.
Where is Elmont, New York?
Even I don't know.
Elmont, California. Look, my whole family's from New York. Wow, I say California. Elmont, New York. My whole family's from New York, but I've never heard of Elmont.
So, we have a question for the panel.
From Long Island.
We have a question here. I have a question for the panel about the NCAA tournament. So, Dark Stage 9117, what is your question? If you can have it, write it down, post it here. We will answer your question. So let us know about your question. So before that, we got about 10 minutes left. So before the question comes in, let's get some final thoughts. What were you looking forward to this weekend before we get out of here? Let's go.
Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, man.
I am looking forward to the draft. I know we want to talk about football, but I'm looking forward to the draft. I can't wait to see who is going to go where. I'm also looking forward to baseball coming back and hitting the balls with those bats. We didn't think we was going to have a season this year, but they pulled through. And baseball's coming through soon. And I'm also looking forward to play some baseball on my Xbox. I just downloaded that too. So if you want to hop on that later, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow.
What you got? 22?
Yeah, man, it dropped on Game Pass.
22. I'm gonna have to get the Game Pass and get on there. I'll be calling you. Right now, I'm addicted to that WWE 2K22 game. I play that game like there's no tomorrow now. But yeah, I'm also looking forward to baseball season. It's starting this week. You know, in a couple days. You listen to this Wednesday, so Friday. Tomorrow, I think it actually comes in, but most of the teams play on Friday. Can't wait. Baseball season is here. Loving it. Baseball season is back. So,
all right. So, what was the question?
What are we looking forward to? And then I got a couple of things about some. I know we didn't really talk a lot of NFL, but I'll talk a couple things on it. I saw a couple of things in the NFL, so I'm just curious on what you guys thought about that. But
all right.
Give me your final thoughts real quick.
Okay. So, what am I looking forward to? USFL, baby. We are here. The inaugural game, I believe, is on. I believe we got about 2 weeks here until we got the inaugural game. And then also, I'm looking forward. I know this is kind of a shot at both of y'all. I'm looking forward to There Goes the No Hitters next episode. I know you gotta look. I've already heard a couple people lining up to come on the show, and then Big Boy. Look, I got New Yorkers who I've talked to who are waiting to hear about some New York anything to mix it up. Giants, Jets, they're New Yorkers.
I got to get over to Big Chief Daddy to help me out with some of the stuff over there. I already got all the content ready to go for the Giants and the Jets. They good to go.
All right.
So the USFL is going to start the 16th of April, so in about 10 days. But speaking of football, another wide receiver broke the bank today.
Stephon
Diggs signed a big contract with the Buffalo Bills.
$21 million a year.
How do we feel about Stephon Diggs staying in Buffalo? Could he have gone somewhere else?
Look at that quarterback he's playing with.
Yeah. Where else where he's going to go to get the type of championship aspirations he has right now with that organization?
I'm just saying, do you think Buffalo's going to get to the championship game? Or, I mean, I don't know. I think Buffalo's window is closing, even though I guess they have the Josh Allen, but I mean, they just lost their, offensive coordinator. So maybe he. I thought maybe he would go to somewhere else that get paid, right? That's the objective of the case. I mean, he got paid, but maybe he could have got a little bit more with somebody else. Saying maybe too, like a Indianapolis. Maybe go there with Matt Ryan. I'm just throwing out teams.
Yeah, just
throwing out
teams
that have quarterbacks. Okay. No. Okay.
Keep going.
How about with Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans?
Keep going. You say Jacksonville. I'd be better about that one. Just keep going.
Jacksonville. Okay. How about
that's the one I was waiting for you to come out with.
I thought he was gonna say Jets. They need a wide receiver bad.
They trying to get AJ Brown right now.
How about Denver?
They got talent up the yards. I don't see that happening.
Mm-hmm. How about Las Vegas?
No.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, they already paying a wide receiver $30 million.
Okay, how about LA? Either of them?
Nah, they wide receiver loaded.
Mm-hmm. They good.
How about the Giants?
That was our problem last season. All the wide receivers we went and got.
Dallas. They need a quarterback. They need some wide receivers.
Salary cap issues.
Mm-hmm. And they don't like trades like that. They rather just go get them out of a free agency or the draft.
All right. I just thinking throwing out other teams. I mean, I'm happy for the man. He got paid. Dude from Oakland is making everybody richer. If you play wide receiver in the NFL this year, and I'm shocked because they got a good wide receiver class coming out of the draft. So why are you paying all this money when you got a decent, good chunk of wide receivers coming out of the draft?
Because you have a proven commodity in Diggs. You know what you're going to get out the man. They may be a good crop, but you don't know who's actually going to blossom from that crop. They're all seeds right now. They need to be planted, and they need to be nurtured and grown. And not all of them make them to the heights that you thought they would. I say pay the man and get something that you know that you're getting as opposed to putting a gamble on something.
Facts.
All right. All right, guys. Well, we're going to end on that note real quick. Is there anything else you guys seen? Anything before we go? Any other sporting news we didn't get to? We got 6 minutes.
I'm excited to say that I'm going to go to my first professional hockey game this Saturday. I believe that's a Saturday. This next week, mid next week, I'm seeing the Panthers play live.
That's a good one to go. You going down to Miami, or are they coming up here to Tampa?
I think it's going up north.
Okay. All right, so I got a question. We'll end it with this show. I got the question out here.
Yeah, I see it.
It's a big question. I'm curious what the panel take on Gonzaga once again coming up short in their quest for a championship. I said many times, and we'll keep saying Gonzaga has no business being in one seed when the likes of Kansas, Duke, and Baylor, they are not what the media makes them out to be. In my opinion, I do not hate the Bulldogs, but they deserve to lose when they did. So, to Wallets.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
your
because
kind of
it's a,
middle. That's kind of like if you're a middle of the school. You like those middle slow class.
okay.
So you go ahead.
From a guy who's a fan of the Big East, basketball is, I will say, relatively like baseball. If you can get 5 guys to 7 guys to play to the best of their ability, division does not matter. We saw that with who was it, the Bluebirds or whatever they were. I'm sorry, I didn't follow them very much during the season, and they went and upended Kentucky in the very first round. Um, I believe, me personally, I like I said, if you get 5 guys that can play ball, and then you got a coach who knows how to coach, and then look with the game the way it is today, if you got 2 guards, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win a game to 5 games in the tournament. So Gonzaga always being there, they had a great big. Great bigs don't win traditionally in college basketball. You got to have a combo guard or a guard to win in this league, win in that league. So I'm not. That's why I had put all my. That's why I had put all my. I mean, yeah, my bracket failed. I ended up second in the Sports ATV bracket, but I bet on the teams that had the hottest guard play in 2 guards coming out, which was Miami and Providence, and of course, Miami and Providence both made the Sweet 16. So that's where I'm at.
Big boy, you got anything on this?
I'm gonna say that Gonzaga I will label as a media team. They are always in the media because the media only knows them. They got to put a few more teams out there. There's a lot of teams out there, a lot of colleges out there that can play ball, and this year's tournament proved it. They got to stop getting off of the teams that have done it in the past and get on the teams that are upcoming in the future, the teams that have a bit more aspirations and a little bit more heart to pull off the big games.
Yeah. So I feel 2 things. One, I totally agree with what you guys are saying. Other than as right here it says, he personally feels that the WCC is not a top tier conference outside of St. Mary's and Gonzaga. What other team is there? Exactly. What other team is in the WCC? However, I also think that if UCLA would have somehow beat Arizona in the Pac-12 championship, they might have not had the 4 seed. They could have possibly been one of those number 1 seeds, and where Gonzaga wouldn't have been. Because I have no problem with the other 3 1 seeds. I have no problem with Kansas being a 1 seed, Duke being a 1 seed, or Baylor being a 1 seed. But Gonzaga always a 1 seed. It feels like it's a default because they play in such a weak conference that automatically you're like, they're going to have a good record. They're going to have a really good record. But obviously you put them in, you can put them in one of the top seeds. I don't think they shouldn't have been in the top seed. I think they should have been in the bottom. I would have put them in 3, maybe 3 seed. Could be a 2 seed. But it will be interesting to see where they go from here.
And then can I add to the second part of his second question here? He said, "I'm not sure that anyone here can claim this team is good each year that have anything to do or do anything." Okay, that was into the question. So to answer that part, if you try and take away that part of the game when it comes to teams getting hot and not at the right times, you got to remember college basketball is more about coaching than talent. If you move to the NBA and you have no talent, coaching can really go nowhere. But then at the same time, if you have a team who's well coached and has talent, you can win an NBA title. But in college, you just need 5 to 7 guys to play together and you can win a title. That's the beautiful part about college and March Madness. Anybody can win at any given time. You only got to win 1 game. That's really what makes it beautiful. That's it doesn't have to be about what they did during the season, because I think between us, I don't know if we watched more than 6 games, maybe even 5 games during the whole season. March Madness, I'm gonna tell you right now, I watched 6 whole games during the tournament. That was more than I watched during the whole season.
I think in a season I probably watched maybe one game, but I don't watch a lot of basketball during the season, because to me the season doesn't mean anything. Second of all, other than probably the first week, I watched. I think we were watching back and forth games, like every game. Oh, I mean, so I'm adjusting to the whole late night games out here, and I don't get the luxury like I used to with two Wallace living in California, living out there getting them late games and be able to watch all the games and still go to bed at a decent hour. So here it's a little bit rough, but other than I want to say the first week, I say that Friday, Saturday, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, especially that Thursday and Friday, I watched a lot of games. But as the tournament went, it was like, oh yeah, the games are on, right? I mean, maybe it had to do with the fact that my bracket just isn't good.
Fell apart, yeah.
So I didn't really think that.
I was mad when Kentucky lost too. And he has another question. Here's my question for the person who supports mid-tier teams. I guess he hasn't gotten that second part, but for somebody who does support one mid-tier team, I always did follow UConn, who's basically a mid-tier team now. Former Big East fan. You know what I'm saying? But true and through, and I guess I still am a mid. They just happen to be in a better conference now. I'm a Syracuse Orange guy, my man. I remember, watching Carmelo is what turned me on to college basketball. You know what I mean? So, big boy, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like I said, my whole family's from New York. So, when I saw Melo, the zone defense, I still get stoked.
Did his thing.
So we're gonna leave it off on this question. Thank you very much, sir, for sending me some questions. Look next week as well. But this question right here: what about schools like Vermont, Loyola, Chicago, Memphis? Maybe throw in an Ivy League school if they were good. These teams, some of them are very good and strong mid-major teams. Why not give them a high ranking? Why always give Gonzaga the one seed? Remember a few years ago, VCU and Butler, when they made it to the Final Four, all these teams being overlooked.
All right, let me answer this real quick, and then, to be completely honest, I would love to see that. I'm gonna be a homer at the same time. I want to see Montana State do something. I don't know if y'all realize, but they just got a commit. He's gonna play 2 years at Montana State. He's the number 1 in turnover point ratio point guard in the NCAA. His name is Darius Brown II. He will be playing this year. He's got 2 more years, y'all. I want to see my cousin get in there and tear it up in the tournament, man. Y'all seen him? If y'all seen him at Northridge, man, he was throwing them alley-oops. I've been posting him on Facebook. He's been on SportsCenter a couple times. Alley-oop, dude. I got ballers in my family. I'm just glad that I get to watch them.
You got the ballers in his family, and he just talks about them on a YouTube channel. But
Montana State, baby, Montana State.
All right. Yeah. Well, as far as why are they not number 1 seeds, Butler and VCU, it's because they don't have the notoriety. They don't have the coaching. If they had the coaching and the money, they would get maybe number 1 seeds. But Gonzaga is obviously, they're media darlings of the March Madness. But anyways, thank you for everybody that participated in answering your questions, participated in coming on the show. We very, very well appreciated everything. Look out for, like I said, In the Mic coming out this Saturday, talking some more NBA. Also, like I said, I'll get with Big Boy about the New York teams. And remember, baseball's back, so don't look out for There Goes the No Hitter. I will be bringing on a few guests, here and there, talking some baseball. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate everything you do. Make sure you click and subscribe for the latest stuff on YouTube. Also follow us. You can follow right here, me and myself on Twitter at Big Chief Daddy 75, and you can also follow at Joey Two Wallets on Twitter. We're working on Big Boy to get a Twitter name so we can get this Twitter stuff handled. We'll get him a Twitter soon. All right,
Big
guys.
Boy NY is about to come out soon.
But all right, guys, we will talk to you later. We're out.